Quality. Quality. Important issue is quality. What to do without quality? Nothing can be done without quality. Quality is a requirement of life. Quality is a requirement of everything. If you don't have quality, you have nothing. Good morning. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, December 19, 2021, Sunday, Ravivar, early morning 5:12 a.m. मैं सूरज सिंह भारत से बोल रहा हूँ, भारत इंडिया से। सुबह के 5:12 19 दिसंबर 2021 रविवार। लास्ट वीडियो was broken, was interrupted because of signals. Again signals are down. I don't know what to do. There's no one to listen. No one to listen in Airtel. No one. It fluctuates like whatever, as if it's earthquake. As if it's earthquake. So fast changes in signals, nobody can even imagine. I don't know reasons behind that. I'm not an electronics engineer. But I think there is no integrity of signals, there is uniformity. I have written many times to this organization, Airtel, but I think they only respond on telephones or mails. We have done it. And in fact, they don't do anything. And this is not a story of Airtel. This is a story of, I think, in every sector, every service which is automatic. Automatic means leave it to itself. I think that is automatic, right? Leave controls to itself to take care about, and if people fall, people die, no problem. Today I'm talking about because it's required. It's required. Again, 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh my God. It's waste. Last time I worked for about, in last video, it was more than 1 hour. I think it was more than 1 hour with us, even 1 hour 10 minutes. But the record was only for 48 minutes. This means I lost 12 plus 22 minutes I lost in that. It happens every time. हमेशा होता है. एयरटेल वाले कोई ध्यान नहीं देते. बच के रहिएगा इनसे, लेकिन मजबूरी है हमारी. हमारे पास कोई दूसरा सर्विस प्रोवाइडर नहीं है जो उनसे अच्छा हो. वो भी जानते हैं शायद इस चीज़ को, इसलिए उन्हें चिंता नहीं है कस्टमर कहाँ जाएगा. कस्टमर आप हैं, कष्ट वो आपको देंगे. कष्ट आपको उन्हें देना चाहिए, लेकिन आप क्वालिटी की बात मत करो, समझदारी की बात मत करो. वो आपसे लूटते हैं तो लूटने दो, वो आपसे सर्विस चार्ज लेते हैं तो लेने दो. बस आप बोलो मत, क्योंकि हमारे पास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, हमारे पास पैसा है, हम सबको खरीद सकते हैं. हमारी सर्विस तो आप लेंगे, ज़बरदस्ती लेंगे. हम आप नहीं भी चाहेंगे तो भी लेंगे, क्योंकि हमारे हाथ में कंट्रोल्स हैं. यही सोचना है उनका. और हम मजबूर हैं. हम मजबूर हैं कि हमारे पास कोई रास्ता नहीं है, और इसलिए हमारी अपनी क्वालिटी भी उन्होंने ख़राब कर दी है. अफसोस होता है, दुख होता है इस बात पे कि पूरा विश्व और हमारा देश के सब लोग इनके सर्विसेज लेते हैं, लेकिन लड़ाई करने की किसी की ताकत नहीं है इनसे. बातें बड़ी प्यार की करेंगे, बड़ी प्यार की बातें करेंगे, बड़ी अच्छी बातें करेंगे, जैसे इनसे अच्छा कोई है नहीं. बातें बेचते हैं, बातें. टिक लिपटॉप, हम आपकी रिकॉर्डिंग कर रहे हैं, हमारे लिए आप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं. अरे खाक इंपॉर्टेंट है, आप सुनते नहीं हैं. आप लोड पे लोड लिए जा रहे हैं, आप कस्टमर लिए जा रहे हैं, सर्विस कैपेसिटी आपकी है नहीं. क्या फ़ायदा ऐसी क्वालिटी का? बकवास क्वालिटी है देश की, आपने ख़राब कर दी है. अगर मैं वीडियो बनाता हूँ, रिकॉर्ड करता हूँ, मेहनत करता हूँ, सिग्नल्स आपके क्यों फ्लक्चुएट होते हैं? आपके पास इंजीनियर्स पढ़े हुए नहीं, अनपढ़ इंजीनियर हैं. कंट्रोल्स नहीं आपके पास. क्या नहीं है आपके पास? You nonsense you are. You have no engineers who can control all these activities. Well, I can't blame Facebook. I can't blame YouTube. You have to be blamed. That's the important point. You have to be blamed. Because you are service provider, you are transmitter. Again 0 and 0. Why? Now it's 130, 6 FPS. Audio is 12.2. Why? It's 1 Mbps, now 54 FPS. In 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Why is fluctuating? My question is that. But to whom I question? None. How many mails I can send to them? It's fed up. I'm fed up. I can't change service provider because nobody exists. And this service provider goes on enhancing rates of services every day. Well, Chairman, my purpose is not to criticize them at all, but because I'm upset. All times upset with these services. In last video, I was talking about quality of concrete. And that quality on concrete page I was on here. You can see my certificate here. And also talking about, because I could not record properly, we talked about unformed surfaces shall be classified as either U4 timber trowel finish, U3 steel trowel finish, U2 brush finished, and U1 other finish designated by engineer. A screed finish means where floor slab is to receive a screed finish. Slab shall be laid to slopes and levels shown on drawings, and top surface shall be damped whilst unset to produce a suitable keyed surface for receipt of appropriate finishing. The floor slabs top surface shall be levelled and floated whilst unset to an uniform finish to slopes and levels shown on drawings. Floating shall be done in such a manner as not to bring dust-proof finish where concrete surfaces are required to provide a dust-proof finish. These shall be treated with 2 coats of accepted material. Each coat shall be applied with a soft brush on a clean and dry surface in accordance with manufacturer's printed instructions. Non-slip finish. Very important point. Non-slip finish. It is because one should not slip. It's safety measure. Very much safety measure, non-slip finish. Ground kilogram per meter square, 1.5 kilogram per square meter, and lightly traveled in before being finished. Lightly traveled in before final finishing. Alternatively, carbon dust may be incorporated into finish or by means of mechanical power float. Hardened finish. Hardened finish. Where a hardened finish is required, where a hardened finish is required to floor slabs, these shall be treated with 3 coats of accepted material. Each coat shall be applied with soft brush on a clean and dry surface in accordance with manufacturer's printed instructions. In U1 class, I said in U1 class, not in other classes. In U1 class, these are designation by engineer. Other finishes we call them. Other means other than U4, that is timber trowel, U3, that is steel trowel, and U2 is brushed finished, and U1 has skid finish, we discussed, float finished, dust proof and non-slip, hardened. Now, finishing unformed surfaces. Finishing unformed surfaces. Again, signals have gone. I don't know why I have become a joker of Airtel. Really, I have, and I've been, and I try to work, I try to disseminate information, but thanks God, Airtel is there. Brilliant organization, I should say. People are not serious, so they are not serious, in fact. Well, I can do my job, nothing else. How can they improve? It's their problem. And if I got another good vendor or service provider for this service, I will immediately shift to the oven. Finishing unformed surfaces. Unformed surfaces means where there is no formwork on those surfaces. For example, it is slab top, because slab sides or edges and slab bottom, that's soffit, and the beams, etc., all are formed, all are covered. On covered, there can be no way of finishing when shuttering is there, formwork is there. But when we talk of finishing unformed surfaces which are not covered by concrete, covered by surface of, or can say covered on surfaces, not covered by some plywood or something, unformed surface, there's no formwork. That's called unformed surfaces. And talking about unformed surfaces, how to finish those, what's method of finishing. In finishing unformed surfaces, be tamping, float, tamped, floated, troweled or brushed, as defined below and shown in drawings. Here we say tamped. By tamping is T, type T is said tamping, and type F it says troweling, floated, type F is floated. So type T is tamped, type F is floated, and type ST, that is steel trowel, so it's troweled by steel and generally is called ST. And we can say BR, that is brush. We call it type T. Tamped surface shall be formed by leveling and tamping. Leveling and tamping concrete, leveling and tamping concrete to produce a uniform plane and ridged surface. Planed and ridged surface. 0, 0, my God. I am sure nothing will be recorded. Well, surplus concrete takeoff, being struck by a straight edge immediately after compaction. It's also first stage of following finish. This is why tamping means just stamp it and that's it. Again I say tamped surface be formed by leveling. Leveling and tamping. Leveling and tamping concrete. Leveling and tamping and concrete. You can say tamped surface shall be formed by leveling and tamping concrete to produce a uniform plane or ridged surface. Plane or ridged surface. Surplus concrete being struck off by straight edge immediately after compaction. It's also first stage of following finish. Now, type F, floated. Damping is done for floated surface also, because first you have to do damping, then floating. So it's a sequence, you can say. Floated surfaces shall be uniform. Floated surfaces shall be uniform surface which has been worked to no more than is necessary. Remove screed marks, steel marks by hand or by hand with a wood float or a power float of a type acceptable to engineers. Surface shall not be floated until concrete has hardened sufficiently. So I repeat, is type float. Floated surface, which is another form of type damping and floating. So we can say type of floating surfaces shall be uniform surface, which has been worked on no more than necessary to remove screed marks by hand with a wood float or by power float of a type acceptable to engineer. Surface shall not be floated. You can say surface shall not be floated until concrete has hardened sufficiently. Type steel, ST, steel towel. Steel towel is very high class of finish. Steel towel shall be hard, smooth finish. Free from travel marks. And formed with a steel trowel under firm pressure. So we can say steel trowel shall be hard, smooth finish, free from trowel marks and formed with a steel trowel under firm pressure. Trowel shall not commence until moisture film has disappeared. And concrete has hardened sufficiently to prevent excess latents from being worked to surface. If latents is brought to surface, it shall be removed. So this is steel trowel. You have to wait for hardened surface. It shall be hard and smooth finished, free from trowel marks, and formed with a steel trowel under firm pressure. Troweling shall not commence until moisture film has disappeared. Zero. Thank you, Airtel, for cooperating. Airtel, thank you very much. You are cooperating very well. What to do? This is quality. That's why I'm stressing on everything. This is what quality is. Airtel quality. This is India quality. This is no quality is quality. If somebody asks you a question about define quality, or simply say quality means no quality. What are you talking about? Yes, that's true. Quality means non-quality. So we say type BR. Brush shall be formed before brushed shall be formed before concrete has hardened by drawing a wire broom or BR. Brushed shall be formed before concrete has hardened by drawing a broom over concrete. Wire broom or concrete. Draw it on concrete. You have to draw wire broom or concrete. Surface at right angles to traffic flow. So I repeat, brush shall be formed before concrete has hardened by drawing a wire broom or concrete surfaces at right angle to traffic flow to give an average texture depth of 1 mm. So we can say type of finish. As I said, there's another one for ground slab concrete. For ground slab concrete, you can say shall be treated with sodium silicate. Ground slab concrete shall be treated with sodium silicate or a similar dust preventive coating. This must be applied in accordance with manufacturer's instructions. So sodium silicate, NaSO3 I think, sodium silicate. Type of finish shall be specified on drawings as directed by engineer. So we go back to the type of finish shall be specified on drawings as directed by engineer. And you can say before beginning concrete, pour with unformed surfaces. Contractor shall obtain confirmation of how it happens. We go to type of finish shall be specified in drawings or is directed by engineer. Before beginning any concrete pour with unformed surfaces, contractor shall obtain the confirmation of type of finish required from engineer. What finish actually is required? If it's not mentioned, type of finish will be specified on drawings and or is directed by engineer before beginning. Beginning concrete pour with unformed surfaces. The contractor shall obtain confirmation of type of finish required from engineer. That type for U1, U2, U3, U4. What's the rest? It may be BR, it may be dust, BR or T or F. Well, initial finishing of unformed surfaces shall commence immediately after placing and compaction has affected. Suitable access roads or access boards or platforms. Suitable access boards or platforms will be provided to allow access to all parts of unformed surfaces to be finished. Access boards are temporary. I'm talking of these access boards are always temporary. This requires of unformed surfaces to be finished. Very protective treatment or topping layer is to be applied to concrete. Very protective treatment or topping layers to be applied to concrete. Manufacturers and suppliers' recommendations shall be followed. Obtained by carrying out a Signals again down. I have to weep now, I have to cry now, I think. That's the only way. But cry in wilderness, nothing else. I have to cry in wilderness because, well, something is there, I don't know, for how seconds, how many seconds. Or say, we can say brush to finish. Brush to finish shall be obtained. That brush shall be obtained by carrying out a steel trial finish. Steel trial finish and then using a suitable stiff brush, nylon brush dragged lightly across surface. Addition of small quantities of water. To aid finishing. So the point say brush to finish shall be obtained by by carrying out a steel trial finish and then using a suitable stiff nylon brush dragged lightly. We can say additional small quantity of water to finishing towels shall be permitted to aid finishing. Now surface finishing classification. Surface finish classification. Finishes to form surfaces of concrete shall be classified as F1, F2, F3 or such other special finish as case may be. F1, F2 finish. Okay, now finishes where class of finish is not designed or not designated. Where class of finish is not designated. All internal concrete shall be finished to class 3. Let us say internal concrete class 3. All external concrete below ground shall be class F1. Where surfaces are tanked by covering with part paint or such other special finish as may be designated. Where class of finish is not designated, what to do in that case? You can say as large panels as possible. Form work as large panels, हो सके जितने बड़े पैनल बनाएं. Signals help me. 0.02 FPS. No use to speak. It's going down. I'm sure it's going down. 32 minutes. Now something is there. Something. So we can say formwork materials, and we are talking of F3 finish, that is internal, where large panels can be used. Large panels as possible can be that panels material must be F3, or you can say external resistant. So we can say here formwork of class F3 shall be lined with as large panel as possible of non-staining material. It should be non-staining material. That's important. Non-staining material. Or hard compressed fiber board. High compressed fiber board. So we can say forms is very same way, whatever size we need formwork for class F3 finish shall be lined with as large panels as possible of non-staining material. So we can say again singles gone. My God, it's difficult to move. Unblemished surface, just sanded wood, sanded plywood. Compressed fiberboard. All right, so we can say again that if it's good time, just see, read yourself possibly if it's there. I'll explain later on. No use of speaking because no signals. What to do? Well, Oh my god, I should kill myself. That's the only way to get off this system. From approved pattern and fixed to back formwork by oval nails. They replace internal equipment and also avoid. Faced, unfaced wrought boarding, unfaced wrought boarding or standard steel panels shall not be permitted. You can say same type of lining shall be used in internal one, and unfaced wrought boarding or standard steel plate shall not be permitted. Formwork for class F below ground, that is formwork for class F2 finish shall be faced with wrought, wrought, tongued and grooved, wrought, tongued and grooved boards, or plywood, tongued and grooved boards, or now we can say same type of lining shall be used throughout one structure. Unfaced wrought boarding or standard steel plate shall not be permitted. Formwork class F2 shall be faced with wrought, tongued and grooved boards. Formwork class 2 finish shall be faced with wrought, tongued and grooved boards, or plywood arranged in a uniform approved from form. Formwork class F2 shall S2 finish shall be faced with wrought, tongued and grooved boards or plywood arranged in a uniform approved pattern, free from defects likely to detract when concrete is vibrated. Exposed concrete surface finish. And appearance without visible imprint of grains, stampings or ridges. Important point it is Care shall be taken to ensure that finish to exposed concrete on external and internal surfaces are of highest quality to produce a smooth concrete surface of uniform texture and appearance without visible imprint of grains, stoppings or ridges. Resulting concrete shall be free from honeycombing, stains, fins, lippings, nails and screw marks, raised grain marks, or any other imperfections, and shall be of uniform surface, texture, and color. Only very minor surface blemishes caused by entrapped air or water shall be accepted, provided that they do not exceed 0.5% by area of each square meter. Exposed concrete surface we are talking, and it's a very important point actually. Resulting concrete shall be free from honeycombing, as I say, it's a very important point. Resulting concrete shall be free from honeycombing, stains, fins, lippings, nails and screw marks, raised grains marks or any other imperfection, and be of uniform surface, texture and color. Only very minor surface blemishes caused by entrapped air or water shall be accepted, provided they did not exceed 0.5% by area of each square meter considered separately. We can say then, okay, I repeat this paragraph. It's very important. 0.5% area, so square meter considered separately, and in addition they shall know. There shall not be concentration. There should be concentration in manners that they are noticeable. It's a very important point. I repeat. Resulting concrete shall be free very minor, very minor surface blemishes, caused by entrapped uh, so we can say, I read the signals are not helping. I don't know It's very harsh or not. Uh, let's say resulting concrete shall be free from honeycombing, stains, fins, slippings, nails and screw marks, raised grains, marks or any other imperfections, and be of a uniform surface, texture and color. Very minor surface blemishes, only very minor surface blemishes caused by entrapped air or water shall be accepted, provided that they do not. So we can say only minor surface blemishes caused by entrapped air or water shall be accepted, provided that they do not exceed 0.5% by area of each square meter considered separately, and in addition they shall not be concentrated in a manner such that they are otherwise. So it says only 5.5% by area of each square meter considered separately, and in addition they shall not be concentrated in a manner such that they are noticeable. Formwork to wetted surface of water retaining structure shall be class F3. All exposed concrete corners and edges shall have 20 mm by grooves in exposed concrete. Grooves in exposed concrete shall be formed by attaching tapered plant timber patterns. Grooves in exposed concrete shall be formed by attaching tapered plant timber patterns accurately aligned to face of formwork. Form ties, tie bolts we call them, so we call ties. We can say grooves in exposed concrete shall be formed by attaching tapered plant timber battens accurately aligned to face of formwork. And form ties, now we can say wall ties we used to call them, that's not form white type bolts actually we call them. Form ties, I should say tie bolts. Form ties shall conform to following requirements: factory fabricated, adjustable in length, use removable or snap off metal from ties, designed to prevent formwork deflection and to prevent spalling concrete surfaces on removal. No metal shall be left closer than applicable level of cover to surface only. Holes larger than 10 mm diameter in concrete surface when using snap ties shall not be permitted. Form ties shall have a factor of safety not less than 1.5. And how many This is form ties. Conformance requires conform to the following requirements, and these requirements are: first is that these are factory fabricated. Don't try your own system on site. It's not hand wire, you mind. Now we can say form types now. Factory fabricated, adjustable in length. Use removable or snap off metal form ties designed to prevent form of deflection and to prevent spalling concrete surfaces on removal. Coatings and accessories. Signals not helping me. What can I do? Coatings and accessories. You know, coating means a kind of paint. A kind of paint. Commercial formulation. Form coating shall be commercial formulation. Foam coating compounds. Foam coating compounds. Foam coating shall be commercial. This signals is a problem. Foam coating shall be commercial formulation. Foam coating compounds that shall not bond with stain nor adversely affect surfaces, adversely affect concrete surfaces, requiring bond of adhesion. Requiring, so I can say foam coating shall be commercial formulations. Foam coating compounds that will not bond with stain nor adversely affect concrete surfaces, requiring bond or adhesion, nor impede wetting of surfaces to be cured shall be used. We will not use something that doesn't meet these qualifications, this criteria. Foam coating in contact with concrete. Now again problem same. Now way to go out. We say formwork in contact with concrete shall be treated with a suitable non-staining mold oil to prevent adherence of concrete. I read, formwork in contact with concrete shall be treated with a suitable non-staining mold oil to prevent adherence of concrete. And the first paragraph, this foam coating shall be commercial formulation. Foam coating compounds that will not bond with stain. Now, thus the concrete affect concrete surfaces requiring bond or adhesion, nor impede wetting of surfaces to be cured shall be used. Use of foam coatings shall be strictly in accordance with manufacturer's instructions. Foam work in contact with concrete shall be treated with a suitable non-staining non-staining molds, oil to prevent adhering of concrete. Forms for exposed surfaces shall be coated with oil before reinforcement is placed. Forms for unexposed surfaces may be thoroughly wetted with water. Forms for exposed surfaces shall be coated with oil before reinforcement is placed. Forms for say will be back in a couple of minutes. What to do? Let signals not come. Enjoy. What to do? No way. Very bad fact of this. Really unbecoming. It is very unbecoming. Unfortunate. Everything is unfortunate here. coated with oil before reinforcement is placed. Forms for unexposed immediately before before placing of concrete except during freezing weather. Says forms for exposed surfaces shall be coated with oil before reinforcement is placed. Forms for unexposed surfaces may be thoroughly wetted. Forms for unexposed surfaces may be thoroughly wetted with water in lieu of in lieu of you know form for it says forms for exposed surfaces shall be coated. Exposed surfaces shall be coated with oil before reinforcement is placed. Forms for unexposed surfaces may be thoroughly wetted with water in lieu of oiling immediately before placing of concrete except during freezing weather. I don't know what's that. Something wrong somewhere. How can it say like that? This is forms of exposed surfaces. Exposed oiling of forms. Excessive oiling of forms shall not be permitted in order to prevent discoloration of cement plaster. Excessive oiling of forms shall not be permitted in case of excessive oiling of forms shall not be permitted in order to prevent discoloration of cement plaster. Don't excessive oiling of forms shall not be permitted bond between concrete and paint. Care to be taken to prevent oil from coming in contact with reinforcement or with concrete at construction joints. Oil on reinforcement. The question is how to remove that. This person who has written these specifications doesn't appear to be very experienced. In fact, this seems just copy paste is done and that doesn't mean anything. Well, no problem. We are not going to do something. Forms for exposed surface shall be coated with oil. Excessive oil is not applicable. Generally called formwork oil shall not be used where concrete surfaces receive special finishes or applied coatings which may be affected by agent unless it's approved by engineer. Fillet, fillet and chamfer strips shall be PVC or timber to approval of engineer. Fillet or chamfer, that's 20 by 20 right triangle, shall be PVC used to seal joints of formwork panels. For smooth finish concrete shall be plastic adhesive tapes to approval of engineer. These tapes to be used to seal joints of formwork panels. For smooth finish concrete shall be plastic faced adhesive tapes Tapes to be used to seal joints of formwork panels for smooth finish concrete shall be plastic faced. Adhesive tape to the approval of engineers. Precast concrete molds shall be rigid steel. Rigid steel. Precast concrete mold shall be formwork to external faces permanently exposed. All horizontal and vertical formwork joints shall be so arranged we have to see a pattern, horizontal as well as vertical formwork joints arrangement. The joints lines should be uniform. Concrete is to be done like fairface you can say, where contractor proposes to make a formwork from standard size manufactured formwork panels. Size of such panels shall be approved by engineer before they are used in construction of formwork. To make a formwork from standard sized manufactured formwork, entire finished appearance of entire elevation of structure and joining structures shall be considered when planning pattern of joint lines caused by formwork and by construction joints to ensure continuity of horizontal and vertical lines. Finished appearance of entire elevation and planning pattern of joint lines caused by formwork and by construction joints to ensure continuity of horizontal and vertical lines. Masonry nails or similar items shall not be used to fix formwork of like to permanent concrete works. Trial panels surfaces that have unformed surfaces, the trial panel. F2 and F3. Concrete cast from job mock-up. Concrete cast from job mock-up shall be used to assess acceptability of contractors' work standards for finishing, work style or workmanship or workship, contractors' workship for finishing. Concrete cast from job mock-up shall be used to assess acceptability of contractors' workship for finishes. If finishing is deemed unacceptable by engineer, contractor shall prepare a further mock-up with a particular class of finish. Mock-up shall be retained during course of works. Mock-up shall be retained during course of work to allow comparative so what's that? Job mock-up shall be retained. If finishing is deemed unacceptable by engineer, a contractor shall prepare another job mock-up with a particular class of formwork face in contact with concrete. Faces of formwork in contact with concrete. Faces of formwork in contact with concrete shall be free from adhering foreign matter. Face off homework in standing water, dirt, shavings, chippings, or other joints between forms and tie holes. Joint between forms and tie holes shall be watertight to prevent escape of mortar or formation of fins